Gender equality goes to the heart of who we are and how we live. It's such an important issue that it needs every one of us, men and women, every sector of Australian society to come together to create change.
Gender inequality is a symptom of a society or an organisational deficiency.
The status quo is that men dominate our industries. If we want a paradigm shift, then we need to make an effort to make sure that that paradigm shift happens.
We started the Male Champions of Change because men seem to be missing from the picture. And what we started to understand is that if we want to work with power, we need those who have power, and that's men, to take the message of gender equality to other men. This is the only place where men are held accountable equally with women for change.
Early on, it was just making everyone aware of the importance of the issue. As time has gone on, what has become really powerful is the conversation about what we actually need to do to bring about change in organisations and our broader community.
This is a group of people who want to step up beside women. It can't be done by women alone, and it can't be done by men alone.
No matter how busy one is, and no matter how many policy priorities there are in your world, gender equality and some of the goals you want to achieve in the workplace really are critical.
We now all have clear targets, clear baselines on what they're measured against, and clear determination to achieve those targets.
As Male Champions of Change, we're not about fixing women, we're about changing the system.
Well, I'm personally committed to it. Well, number one, because it's the right thing to do, but number two, because it's critical to the prosperity of my business and I think to the prosperity of Australia.
Your staff will see through you if you don't actually behave in the way that you talk.
But not only what I say, but what I do, how I prioritize and how I measure and how I hold myself accountable. That's the leadership shadow, and that's very important to making that change happen.
Male Champions of Change has grown over the last few years because it started as 8 CEOs on this Broderick, and it's now 10 groups and 160 CEOs, and it covers a range of different industries and also sporting codes and sporting activities.
What has been so fantastic about bringing this group of people together is that there is a real appetite and an energy to learn from each other, to draw information from each other, to discuss common challenges and to come up with solutions for the way forward.
Things like all roles flex, or redefining merit, setting targets, all great actions that others have inspired us to take.
I see the opportunity of being involved in the Male Champions of Change is to learn from others, but also to really drive change in the sporting community, and particularly in our sport, where we have a business agenda of trying to be Australia's favourite sport and a sport for all.
The thing about Male Champions of Change is it's disruptive. It's disruptive because it's quite controversial. It gives it a hard edge, And for me, what I'm attracted to about that is it allows us to accelerate change. And that's what we want, because what I know is gender fatigue can actually set in, and this is a strategy to overcome that.
But we can't afford to wait another 20 or 30 years for the next round of change. And so this is an accelerant. We're literally throwing accelerant onto the fire.
Sometimes you think because you've made the message clear a few times, you've explained it a few times, that ideology and that truth is established forever. It's not. It's always have to be re-argued and re-prosecuted.
And we've seen some organisations where the leader leaves that's very supportive of this and it gone backwards. That cannot happen. That should not happen. This should be irreversible, positive change.
I think we have to be vigilant and we have to understand the resistance and we have to counter it. We have to break down the myths that might exist. We have to continue to show positive examples of why this change is important.
Let's all get behind the things that are working. So all roles flex, flexible working, which is something that Telstra that we've advocated for very strongly. Insisting on 50-50 shortlists for job interviews is something else that's been successful for us.
The momentum that's been achieved so far, I think, is really impressive. And the widespread nature now of participation in the program just means we're going to see much greater rates of change over time. You have to believe that.